Asian. We are live.
We're live?
We are live.
How the mighty have fallen on a Saturday night.
Not even a pint to be had.
Not even a pint to be had. But no harm, Chris.
This is it.
No harm at all for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a little bit of
We've
time
had
off.
heavy sessions. The old pints are starting to tell in the old tummy.
Yeah,
And then the nips.
that happens, man.
Does I know. So time to get back on the road.
Who's out there? There's someone that's not chatting to us, but they're in
Chat
the
away
mix.
here. Which camera am I looking at?
This is the camera here.
That's the camera.
Yeah.
That's going to be weird.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Okay. Excellent. Let us know if anyone is watching. We decided we'd go on a quick live. Let us know what the sound is like.
I hope this sounds all right. If we're going through the Zoom H6, it should be fine.
Yeah. Weather's up.
The weather has been very good. The weather has been phenomenal.
I spent the day. Do you know what I was today? In a scroll.
So tell us what brought you to the sunny seaside town.
Well, I'd be coasting along there. I like the Sligo coast leading into the Mayo coast. I just like the coast, so I just decided I'd have a while there. I brought my mother for dinner.
Oh,
yeah.
Mother's Day tomorrow.
Mother's Day tomorrow. Shout out to all the mommies.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
You know a lot of them.
I know a lot of mommies.
I bet you do.
And I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Oh, you've gotten to know a few mothers in your time.
Indeed, I have. I've made a few mothers in my time.
Really?
I have. Yeah.
More you've got a little fucking squad of mothers.
Yeah, I do.
You.
Yeah. But that's for another story.
Yeah, well, we'll leave that for a future podcast.
Indeed.
So, how have you been? How have you been getting into the come down from the gigs?
I was actually,
because you seemed pretty broken up about it a couple of days ago.
Well, that is just me coming down. Like, you know me, especially after heavy sessions. It takes me a couple of days. It takes me a lot of kilometers on the road running to sweat the demons out. You see, the problem is I love pints. I love the crack, but I cannot think straight when I've had so many of them. It takes me days to get over, unless I'm drinking all the time, which you cannot do because you get fucking nothing done.
But you've tried that.
I've tried that in my time as well, and I had an unbelievable time.
Did you?
I did, but what happens there is money gets spent very quickly, people get left behind, and money's not coming in. So it's hard to keep that balance going. I don't know how people that drink every day
afford it.
I
don't know how they afford it either.
Financially and time-wise and mentally. It's a very mental taxing pastime.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, you got to commend their dedication to the drink.
Well, I don't know if commend is the right word.
Oh no, I'd say it's such a hard thing to do day in, day out.
It is, but if you're drinking every day for a long time, for years and months, how do you function? How do you function with family, friends?
Yeah,
it's a very strange one. Like I said, I love the crack. I love sessions, and there's nothing better
than the crack in the sessions.
Yeah,
like just being around people that are cracking jokes and having a laugh, and
even the sound of the people in the background of a pub or a beer garden, and just having the crack. There's something magical about it.
Yeah.
If you could just leave it at that, but of course we can't. Is it because we're Irish, or is it just because we're lunatics?
There's a bit. Look, is there any Irish Hallian that doesn't love what we love?
I know that. There's a few people that can do it.
I don't think that if they get into the jaws of having really good crack that they can walk away. No one can.
It's very hard done.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard.
Is there anyone in the comments that agrees or disagrees? Can you walk away from a session, basically?
Yeah. See, that's why I can either do it one way or another. I can't go for 2 pints.
Yeah.
Or 3 pints and say, oh, that was lovely, I'm going home now.
Yeah, there is
you know, you can. And then there's people that can go out and have the crack. Like Pete, when he puts his mind to it, can go out and have a great night without even drinking at all.
He's a scumbag.
I admire him and loathe him at the same time for being able to do that.
Because you know that he's better crack when he's having pints.
Well, that's true too. Like we went over and we done the Come Down With Me on Thursday night in Brayford, and it was brilliant. But the urge, I knew it could have been even 10 times better.
Just to have a few looseners.
To have a few looseners. And the people were expecting us to have pints, but I just couldn't, especially after the Friday night in the same premises beforehand as well. So I said, I can't. I said, listen, I said, it's time to pull the pin. I said, it's time to get back into because we've a big event coming up on April 7th. We're going to be launching it on Monday or Tuesday.
But just before we get into that, right, we have a sponsor for this YouTube live.
Have we?
We do.
When are we going to tell me that?
Well, I thought I'd surprise you.
Well, that was a big surprise.
It is a big surprise.
This launch is growing.
This is
bigger and bigger.
This is sponsored by the scumbags at $3 Stout.
Yes.
Absolute cunts at $3 Stout have sponsored this podcast.
We have?
This is the type of sponsor we need. So
there you go. Fair play to $3 left or $3 Stout.
$3 Stout for sponsoring this podcast.
Where's the camera? There's the camera. Check that out. My big ugly mug as you're drinking a few pints.
You look at that. Look at the bastard.
And the actual design for that, I haven't even given a shout out to On the Chinsta Instagram. What was
On
it?
the Chin?
Was it? No, On the Chinsta is the name. What was his name again? Nicholas, yeah.
Nicholas.
Big shout out. He's actually a very talented singer, musician, rapper, content creator, and he does a lot of busking. I think he's out in Amsterdam. I've been chatting to him.
Sure is.
I've been chatting to him a few times on Instagram. I'd love to meet him. He seems like mad crack.
He's a header.
A header. So but he also does these, like, are they called NCFs or NFCs or NFTs, and that's what that is. And it was lovely. So
fair play to him. Nicholas.
Check him out on Spotify, but check it. You'll get all his links if you go over to Instagram, and
we'll share them later on.
Yeah, share them. Yeah, but I'll be sharing it anyway in the coming days. We're like trying to make this a big shout out, but I know I'm drip feeding it in a little bit, but yeah, it'll all come together when it's meant to come together.
Will. But
here I am now drinking tea out of a soup cup on a Saturday night.
Not something that you're used to doing.
Not something that I'm used to doing on a Saturday night, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It has to be done.
So tell us this, right? So one thing we were talking about the last day was Russia-Ukraine.
Yeah. We got a bit heated.
I don't think so. I think it was all quite...
Well, maybe it was. Well, I was getting heated.
Yeah, you were getting a little bit run away. But in fairness, that was because racism was up, and sure, look, it happens.
There was no racism. Jesus Christ! I wasn't being racist. I was being realistic. I was a racist bone in my body, and I done a video. I done a video during the week, and I was taking the Mickey out of pardon the pun. Taking the Mickey out of Leo Varadkar.
You were taking the Mickey out.
Yeah,
you were taking your Mickey out, Leo Varadkar.
But listen, but the thing is, I could have done, and I've picked on him a few times in the last few weeks, and I had another brilliant joke that because next thing he had COVID, but he was working remotely from home. So I was going to come out with another video, but I couldn't pick on the same person in 2 days in a row. I was going to virtually, so he's doing virtually fuck all from home instead. But anyway,
you could have picked on him.
I couldn't. No, not that he gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Not that he's ever seen any of my videos.
Going into that, right? You saw that video of Michael Healy-Rae and what he said to Leo Varadkar.
I didn't see the video. I heard the audio.
Okay. Let's see if we can find the video.
Yeah. Like Airy Fairy is used in rural Ireland every day.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with that is a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
But Michael Healy-Rae.
I just think he took it up the wrong way.
That was a terrible joke. So bad.
Almira boys first.
First comment.
What is
There's
your
actually
real
a lot of
name?
comments, guys. What's going on?
What is the real name? Should they're out on the sauce?
Take one and tarnish it. When you said you got a little dig, you said, did I understand the answer that you gave to Deputy
That turned up the last.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing too clearly in this house. When it comes to understanding the electorate of Ireland, when it comes to understanding the people, what they want, what they require, the people can look at you and listen to you, or they can look at me and listen to me, and let the people decide who they think is more in tune with what the people of Ireland require.
Thank you,
Because when I hear some of the nonsense that you come out with, my goodness, you're no man to look down your nose at me as if I'm something that you stood up on top of. I'm elected here every bit as good as you are, Deputy. And you know, maybe a lot better than you are. But the funny thing about it is, I wouldn't dare to look down my nose at you or anyone else because I don't do that. But maybe you do because you're a bit of a big shot. But like I say, off we do with the airy fairies and see how far it will get you. But you can be sure of one thing, it's not a nice thing to put down your nose at me and say what you said to me a while ago.
Polished it.
Not nice.
No,
It's
okay.
not
Whoa.
nice what you said to me
See.
either, Deputy, just there, quite frankly. Reflect on it and think about it. Just think about what you said, okay? But think about what you said. Think about what you
He's
said.
putting the perplexed look very well on Facebook.
No. Reflect on it. Think about it. Come back here tomorrow or the next day and take it back if you want to. Deputy, the truth is you look down on me. You think that because I'm from Dublin, because I'm middle class, because I don't talk the way you talk and I have the accent that I have, that somehow I don't understand real people. But you're wrong, Deputy. I'm elected just as much as you are. Everyone in this house has a mandate. We have a mandate because
Many
real
councillors
people
say.
elect us, and that's why, and that's precisely why we stand here. And Deputy, I know as well as you do that you had the opportunity to serve in government. I was there in 2016 when the opportunity was there for you to serve in government, for you to be a cabinet minister, and you turned it down because the truth is you'd rather come here. You would rather come in here. You'd rather come in here and make personalised digs about people in government than actually have to make hard decisions that might cost you a few votes. It might actually cost you a few votes in Kerry because if you did out
Right, what do you think of that?
as an independent,
I want to get your thoughts on it first.
Right.
Because the one thing that I want to say before we get to this, that's not the way you use the words airy fairy.
I know. Well, it is. Now that's the first time I've heard it like that. Did he mean it like that? I don't think so. I really don't. But even if he did, the Taoiseach is meant to be a strong leader of a country.
Yeah.
Right. Just let it over your fucking head.
Yeah.
Just let it go, man. And Michael Healy-Rae is famous for these quotes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Michael Healy-Rae could always go back and say it was not in reference to that, and he'd get away with it.
Yeah, like I think there's definitely that part to it. I just think the way that he used the quote. I think it was weird. Like you can go off with the airy fairies. That's not how you use the word.
Well, if he had said something like
going around being airy fairy is
or
different.
go off now and with your airy fairy comments.
Yeah,
that would have been
completely
better.
Different.
Yeah,
but like the whole context around why he was saying. Now I think he just threw it in because you know the way that's Michael Healy-Rae rambling on like.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was.
It was now that I hear it that way, it did sound.
I can understand why he picked it up like that because it made no sense.
But then again, he's the leader. He's the second in command of the country. Just let it over your head. Just get on with your. Like he really took it personal.
He took it very personal
straight away. But I don't think it warranted. I don't think it's warranted all this palaver.
Yeah. I think what annoys me is.
I think Jade, are you well? Just let us know if our sound is okay. We've been struggling with sound, even on my phone for some reason.
Your phone has been an absolute disaster. I don't know what's going on with that.
Ronan, maybe he meant it subconsciously. I don't know, Ronan.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. But even if he did,
like obviously, Leo Varadkar, famously gay. It's a stupid thing to do to even mention the word.
Well, I know that, but you see, the thing is, I couldn't care less about Leo Varadkar's sexuality.
But,
not a monkey's.
But like what you're doing is giving him, like Michael Healy is giving him a bit of ammunition there.
He is, but I think he used it completely wrong.
I think the whole comment was weird.
Yeah,
like he should have stopped when he's like, when he goes, "I don't look down at you."
Yeah.
He was in a position of power there.
He was exactly, and I wouldn't mind, but he actually had a great speech.
He was doing really up until that. He was nailing it. I don't know.
I've seen people like that. Sometimes if you give people enough rope,
you keep on talking himself.
I remember. I'm not going to mention the name, but I remember, and this is Now, this is years ago. This is years ago, and we were down in the Gateway Hotel.
Of course it was.
And these two beauts came in, and actually one of them was from Scotland, and the other one I think was from Galway. She was a singer. I'm definitely not going to mention their names.
Yeah.
But we got chatting away anyway, and I could tell that something might happen. It was a Sunday night, and I was younger. I'm younger than Martin anyway, and I was only about 18, maybe 19. But I knew there was a bit of a spark, but I didn't want to come on too strong.
Yeah,
even then I was like,
you only had 4 kids at that stage.
I had no kids at that stage, or I was probably 18. So then they were like, "Oh, come on up to the Buzz, the famous Buzz." It was a late bar. Could you even call it a nightclub? Just about. You know, they used to be on the ceiling. Used to like water damage. It used to belly down.
Yeah.
Like it depended on how much rain there was.
If you were tall enough, you'd be fucking holding it up like
in parts. It depended on how much rain that rained that day, how low the ceiling was going to be. So I knew I was in, but I didn't want to seem too keen. So Martin's like, come on, we're going to go up, and we're in here. I said, Martin, just chill. I said, chill out. You know, the old analogy of the young bull and the old bull, even though it should have been the other way around. I said, the young bull runs down, bulls a few calves, whereas the old bull walks down and bulls them all.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said, let them go up. And I said, if they're still there, I said, good and well. No, Martin ran up, got absolutely hammered, drunk. And I said, I'm going to take a nice shot. If they're there and they're waiting, great. And if they're not, good and well. So I left them half an hour, maybe even 40 minutes. I had a pint with my father. So I walked up, there they were. Martin had at that stage completely blown his chances. And I walked in there, all suave. No, not that good. So and
yeah, great night.
Yeah, a mighty night, yeah. So
yeah, so
that was that. But
yeah,
she was a good, nice girl.
Yeah, like there is a bit of that when it comes to Michael Healy-Rae's comment, you know. But I think Varadkar's making a fucking mountain out of a molehill as well.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean,
basically what you're saying is he's a bigot. He's saying that he's got bigoted views. Yeah. And you want to have a lot more evidence than saying the words airy fairy in the doll.
Yeah, because the term airy fairy
is nothing to do with.
It's like it's talking gibberish, you know.
Yeah.
Or you're
away with the birds.
Away with the fairies.
Away with the fairies. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what it is. Just being a little bit fucking off your head, not really thinking,
or scattered,
scatterbrained,
scatterbrained. Yeah, that's probably Almira Boys, Scorpio Lines, Shady Ganley, and the Almira Boys. They don't stop. Bad lads don't stop. We are
the Almira Boys.
We hope not that we're I'm not saying that we're making a new Hardy Bucks, but we have We have material coming down the line, new series, sort of hopefully. The grassroots of it. It's not going to be Hardy Bucks, but it'll be
a bunch of bucks that are
very similar
and almost hard.
Yeah, almost hard. Or we were hard one time and maybe not so hard anymore.
Softy bucks.
But stay tuned for more.
Lads.
That's going to be coming on stream, I think, next week as well. We have to make some sort of announcement there.
Sweet.
So, to the few people that are watching this, you heard it first.
There's a full 7 people.
Yeah, full 7 people. Fair play.
It's actually nice to know that there's 7 people that are also not on the beer tonight.
Yeah, so maybe they are.
Maybe they are.
Maybe they are. Yeah. Maybe they're lushing wine. And I wouldn't blame them.
This might be live at a rave. They might have us talking.
Can you imagine?
Thousands
Jim
of people.
Morrison in the background. Speaking of musicians, the drummer from Foo Fighters died.
Taylor Hawkins.
50 years of age.
I don't know if there's been a cause of death announced.
He was at home anyway.
No.
Huh?
Colombia.
Well, I heard this morning that he was at home. He died at home.
I saw that he was in Bogota.
Maybe that was where he was home at.
Maybe.
Check that out, actually. Or if anyone's listening and knows more info on it.
Because I know he had an overdose a heroin overdose in 2000 or whatever, around that time. And Dave Grohl had wrote a song thinking that he was going to die.
Right.
So I'm not sure if he relapsed or, but he. If you ever watch any of the, they haven't said yet. Yeah, they haven't given they were on tour, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe they were. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he went off the rails.
It's obviously it's suspicious, and there's always going to be suspicions around deaths like this.
Yeah. Where Taylor Hawkins died?
He seemed to be very
Colombia.
Oh, Colombia, okay. So, he seemed to be a very approachable guy because a lot of people.
The videos are brilliant. Him and Dave Grohl seem to hang out and have a great laugh.
Yeah,
But
but even like friends of mine on Facebook and even Christian. Yeah, Christian put up a picture
of him
of the two of them together, and he wasn't the only one. There was 3 or 4. People that put up.
But I think the
pictures.
Foo Fighters are notoriously a likable band.
Yeah,
like Dave Grohl is he just seems like
a
nice guy.
He seems like someone that would walk into the pub and not.
Yeah, have good crack and stuff like that. I saw them at Slane a couple of years ago, and they were brilliant. They were really good. So and a lot, I don't know, Dave Grohl, you'd imagine that he'll keep on going.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know. Taylor Hawkins was one of his best mates.
He'll keep going. I'm sure.
It'd
be hard replaced, of course, but
of course.
Will you replace him as a Foo Fighter or change the band altogether?
No, you won't change the band. Foo Fighters are his
Which reminds me, I have tickets to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, sweet.
So
Are you bringing me?
I might bring you.
Nice. Yeah.
They're in is it Marley Park there?
Is Marley Park the ideas? Oh, maybe Marley Park.
I can't remember now.
If it is, that's ideal because I live just up the road from
Lovely. So I can stay at your house.
Ooh. Are we having connections issues, guys? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think the Foo Fighters have 2 drummers, Taylor and another lad, so maybe they could keep going. I'd imagine they'll keep going. I don't think.
Yeah, I know that Dave Grohl does nearly all the drumming on the records.
All right. And sing.
He does all the instruments.
Oh, at the same time.
He's like a one-man band. He's like fucking does it. And we have a super chat.
Cheers,
from
guys.
Patrick Keelty.
Patrick,
you're an absolute,
so much.
You're an absolute gent. You know that.
Fair play, Patrick.
We're...
Cheers, Patrick. Thanks a million.
What gent?
Yeah.
What did he say in the?
You should love the bands, lads. Do you know what I've noticed? I think I might start needing glasses.
Really?
Well, my eyesight used to be beautiful, but I actually had to go in and see that. I could usually read that from back here.
Yeah, I can see it. Just I couldn't make out the last word or two, but
yeah, okay,
maybe I don't know. You get to that age, aren't you, Steve?
Stop with you. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with my age. I'm as old as the person I feel like.
Really? I'm not sure if that's the quote. I think if you said that in front of Leo Varadkar, you'd actually take offense.
Patrick, tell us, where have you been? We've done the live the last day. We haven't done a live in a few weeks. How's life been? We're going to be back on doing lives now that the live shows itself are.
So for anyone and the patrons especially that might be chilling out watching this as well, like I know there's been a little bit of a lack of
proper podcasts.
Yeah, podcasts and connections and even just chatting tea and stuff like that. We do apologize. Between the beer, which has taken up a good bit of time over the last couple of months,
the live shows,
massive. See, it's very difficult, and then even our own work outside of doing this. I know you're really busy. I'm flat out as well, and Pete has a farm full of chickens to run, so
that's it too. But the thing is as well, my job, I thought as well, my actual, we'll say, call it a day job.
Yeah,
I thought that was coming to an end, but it just seems to have kicked off again. Yeah. But eventually it will. So I'll be able
slow
to
down.
Yeah. Eventually it will slow down, and I have a lot of irons in the fire, should so to speak. That a lot of content coming up. So it's all like. It's a bit like the live shows as well. It all comes together in one big ball.
You're trying to run from pillar
to post, yeah. But look, we always get there in the end. So the beer, the live shows, we'll have to try and set up a new live show. The thing with the live shows is, what I want to do for the next tour is, apart from going to Europe and America will probably wait until maybe the back end or maybe next year. I want to do bigger shows and not as many of them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or if we're doing 2 shows back to back, I want it in the same venue.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, when we're notoriously scattered when it comes to even getting to the venue.
We're notoriously scattered, even in regular life.
I know that. But like at Lone, the show was meant to start at 8. We didn't get in until 8:05, and we walked through a full room up to the microphone and just said, "Listen, we're late." But it was a great show, and but the thing is,
we were late.
We were late. There was a couple of reasons we were late. We were late in going anyway because I think Pete got delayed, and that was grand. But then I was halfway up, and I remembered that I'd half the stuff for the show left in the slacker.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I had to get my sister to grab the gear and meet us. We were in Tulsk.
Oh my God.
We were in Tulsk. And then I had to ring my sister, and this was about 6:15.
Yeah.
And the show was meant to be at 8. It's an hour and 15 minutes to Athlone, and we were near Athlone. We were definitely more than halfway to Athlone. So I had to come all the way back to Swinford to try and get back up again. It was a complete clusterfuck, but we got there and we put on a brilliant show. And that was, you see, the problem is that was the night after the Guinness Guru. So I had 3 hard nights, but the thing is, the second night in Athlone was unbelievable. It was the most complete show we've ever done.
Yeah.
It was class.
Yeah, but like, see, it's compounded by you being late in the first place.
Yeah, the whole thing. So the moral of the story is, it was the same thing in Galway. Yeah, we done 2 nights back to back in Galway before Christmas, before the second restrictions. So there was I think it was 11 o'clock was closing. And again, the first night was very good.
Yeah, I think a lot of gigs or people that gig regular will find that. And I think at the end of the day, like, you look at some of the professional comedians out there, like Jimmy Carr used to do like 250 to 300 dates a year.
That's crazy.
And he just.
But the thing with Jimmy Carr is, you see, that's where I want to go. That's where I want this to be.
I don't think you can do that in Ireland.
You can if you're professional and if you're not as scattered as me.
Population-wise, everyone's going to see you very quickly, or everyone that you're going to tap into is going to see you.
But the idea is that I'm going to write a completely new show. Our show is mental. I'm actually going to write. I'm going to come from a completely different angle. Yes, it'll be mental, but I want it to be completely different. We do a lot of crowd interaction. We work off the crowd. One thing I will say is it'll be if we're doing pubs again, I will be there to see the venue before we actually get there, because out of the whatever many shows we done this tour, two of the pubs were just not conducive to doing comedy. And we had great nights and everyone had a great night, but we could have easily have just drank with them because that's all they wanted. And they just wanted to take pictures and have pints. And that's great. If we'd known that, we would have just done that. But they were climbing over each other. There was 140 people there. There was only 30 seats.
Even the first gig that you did in Newbridge, at the start of the tour. You look at a venue like that, and it's a fine venue.
Fine venue. It's a fine pub.
But it wasn't set out.
No. There was pillars. There was steps down. There was steps up. It's not
really giving you a show.
Yeah. No, not the way it was in the venue. The likes of Anderson's, the likes of the Crown in Wexford, the likes of Jerry Flannery's in Limerick. You know, the likes of Grand Social in Dublin, Dolan's or Grand Social or the Sugar Club. They're proper venues. Yes, they have bars, but there'll be security there, and you sit there for the first half of the show. Then you go out and get your pints. Then you're back for the second half of the show. And if you want to go drinking, well, then you're missing the show. But in a pub, you have the best of both worlds.
Like you can't control
you're not getting the crowd. It's like doing a show underwater.
Yeah, you can't control a bunch of lads that are going to go to the bar
in
the middle of your set. And ruin it for this person that's sitting behind them. You know, because they're all just going to get up and go for a smoke away.
But that's human nature.
Crack.
They just want crack, and especially people that are probably come and watch, would be coming to one of our shows anyway. They're already a lot of young fellas, and they're just mad for drinking, and we love the drinking. Don't get me wrong, and I love after drinking, but I'd love to be able to go out and say, listen, guys, for an hour and 45 minutes, you get an interval halfway through, then you can get pints. Just bear with us, work with us.
But you shouldn't have to tell that.
But apparently, Tommy Tiernan is starting to do that straight away.
Right.
Like literally, you're here for the show. Don't be taking pictures. Don't be heckling. Within reason, obviously. And then that's it. And then he goes back, and then the show starts.
Patrick Kilty says, from Galway, gents, but working up in Dublin for years. Looking forward to the next live show. We'll definitely get down for it.
Yeah.
Where are you working in Dublin, Patrick?
How long have you been in Dublin? And which do you prefer, Dublin or Galway?
Where do you live in Dublin? Are you a neighbour of mine?
You could be.
Could be.
Yeah, you could be next door neighbours.
True.
Truth. Which do you prefer, Galway or Dublin?
Dublin.
Do you?
Yeah.
I used to love Galway. Oh, I still love Galway. And I
just don't think the nights on Galway are great anymore.
Yeah, they used to be.
They used to be great. They used to be brilliant, amazing. I've had amazing, but I'm just any night that I go out in Galway, it's not what I used to be.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know. I'm probably a little bit older, and I'm just not that enamored by it as compared to. And it always feels like a night in Galway is an early night. It finishes early. Compared to Dublin. Okay. Like Dublin,
there's a lot more happening in Dublin. That's obvious because
it's a massive city.
It's a massive city. Yeah. Has it 1 million people?
1.5 million. 1.5 million.
So there you go. It has the population. You see.
Yeah, I think Galway is even like the last couple of times I was down, say for race week, even I was like, it's not as good. It's not as exciting as it used to be. It's not as.
But has Dublin not tainted it? But has Dublin taken the sting off Galway?
I think, but isn't that like you go to different places, go to New York, you come back to Dublin, it'll feel small.
Yeah,
you go to London, you come back, and all these different things.
It is kind of weird when you leave the likes of Boston or New York, and especially at nighttime, and you're going over New York and you see the vastness of the city,
and they're all big high rise.
But the next thing you land in Shannon, it's like, what
are we
fuck?
doing? Yeah. There is definitely that part where you're like shocked. You're like, it's like I'm home.
Yeah, but the thing is, and isn't it amazing that such a small country like Ireland has roots all over the world and made such a beautiful. I know I'd be giving out about the government and that, but the country itself and the people have made such a beautiful name for themselves
you'd
all
be
over
proud.
the world.
You would definitely be proud of that.
Yeah.
I definitely look at when you come home. You look at like landing at home. You're like, it's kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is, and you're glad to be, because usually when you're coming back from New York as well, you're like the shakes are on, and you're just happy to get flicked.
The one thing that I used to love about Galway was if you went out, say on a Friday night or Saturday night, that the next day pints in Galway was always brilliant crack.
Yeah,
it was always.
Well, you see, and the beauty about Galway is
there's as much of that as it used to be.
Another thing about Galway is, as big as it is, it's small.
Yeah, it is small.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk from from one end of it to the other end, and then probably start north to south and east to west in one day, easy.
Easily. Yeah, but I went to college in Sligo and spent 3 years in Sligo, and I used to love nights. I used to enjoy Sligo way more than I used to enjoy Galway.
Oh yeah,
it was just more mental than Galway.
Right. Well, but there's a lot more venues in Galway then.
There is, but like the amount of lunatics in Sligo just seemed. It just seemed wilder.
It is wider. I was going to say even the coast of Sligo is wider.
Yeah.
Than we say Westport, and it's completely different beauty.
Yeah. What did Patrick say there? Prefer Dublin. Okay, fair enough.
Nearing 40, no more than ourselves. So a lot more happening up there than Galway. Would be great to have a pint at the next show. 100%, Patrick. Whether that be Galway or Dublin, but we deliberately left Dublin on this little set of tour because we want to come back to Dublin in the summertime to a big venue. So we want to let the juices sort of build up a little bit, because we done Dublin an awful lot between Workman's, Grand Social. We done a lot of supporting for Owen Colligan a couple of years ago. So it'd be nice to get a big name for Dublin. Actually, we'd want to start booking that fairly soon. Yeah. But my idea is Dublin, Galway, Belfast, Cork City, and we're going to do a show in Wexford as well, because we promised we'd go back to Wexford because we were in the Crown, and it was a brilliant show. The only thing is it was done under the restrictions.
Okay.
I'd like to do.
The Crown's quite a big venue anyway.
It is. Maybe Limerick again, and Sligo.
The internet's a little bit up and down.
Shouldn't be. So yeah, we plan on doing bigger shows, but not as many. So, and we'll give more time to give them, promote them and that. So
I'm going to take you on a segue back kind of towards. I'm not sure if you heard anything about Chelsea being basically put up for sale.
I heard something about, and I know that there've been sanctions and everything, but I know, like I said, soccer, unless it's very big.
I've been watching a lot of very funny videos about Chelsea fans losing their shit. It's fucking very funny. But like, again, they've been getting dirty money for years. But like, obviously, we won't go too much into it. But because an oligarch owned their club, they've been getting dirty money for years.
Through
the fact that the owner has nefarious ties to Putin.
Okay. And has he any power in Russia?
Who, Abramovich?
No, Putin. Yeah, of course, Abramovich.
He owned one of the largest oil companies in Russia.
Okay.
So he cornered a huge part. What happened was when the USSR fell, they a number of very rich people got control of the minerals and resources of the country, and then made themselves uber rich.
Yeah. Okay.
You know. So but I was going to say I'll have to send you. We'll talk about this again because there's some really funny videos.
Is it fair though? Is it fair to sanction Abramovich for someone else's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so
at the end of the day, he's made his money on the backs of a country's wealth,
right?
You know, so he.
But I mean, can you blame him for that? If you had the opportunity, would you not do it?
If you get dirty money, does that mean that you shouldn't? When it all goes to shit like what Putin is, you have to take that as well.
Obviously, you know, something has to be done. But I just think banning someone for owning a club in a different country.
Well, he's had visa issues for years.
Okay. Also, he's had
problems for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And this is an ideal scenario for them. CJH93. Any Cork gigs, lads? There will be some Cork gigs.
Like I said, Cork, Belfast, Dublin, Galway. That's it. The 4 sort of corners, and then maybe 4 other locations. So we're going to do a block of 8 this time. Less shows, more people. Yeah. So a block of 8.
Yeah. So Terry's not going to be able to go to small little random pubs around the country and like he did with Athlone.
Yeah, no, and Athlone. Athlone was beautiful.
Well, the last time where you were.
Oh, and Athlone, Jesus Christ. that day I swore that had never happened again. Just like 6 people, 10 turned up then in the end, but I think we dragged 4 of them in off the street, and 2 of them left halfway through.
Just
brought the other 2 with them.
Yeah, of course.
But rang them to say, "Come on, we'll get going out of here." That was a disaster. And I wouldn't mind, but in the green room, I nearly died from fumes. It was right over a diesel depot for boats. I nearly died with the fumes. That's a different story.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're missing anything on the week? Like obviously you had a heavy weekend with Paddy's weekend.
Yeah. Actually, I did, but I started on the Wednesday night. Then I had a heavy one on the Friday night, and I sort of.
So Paddy's Day, you had
clattered down. No, Paddy's Day was grand. I had a light one, but I had a heavy one Wednesday night, a heavy one Friday night. So I done it in a different sort of way. But Paddy's, the funny thing is, Patrick's Day, I've never went mental on Patrick's Day for some reason.
I've a few times, but I wouldn't be a fan of Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Like
it's a bit like New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
from years ago.
An amateur's day out.
Yeah. It's just like a cattle mart, and no one really enjoys anything. People are getting sick everywhere. It's just like
the one thing that annoys me is that this this bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a great day to be Irish.
Yeah.
And they're all going around with their fucking little green hats or the novelty flat caps, and they're like, "Oh look, I'm wearing my Irish flat cap today. I might eat a spud." It's like, you deserve a headbutt. I wear a flat cap every second day.
and that's just the outlet.
Yeah. Yeah, like that faux Irishisms, they fucking do my tits in, to be honest. I actually hate it.
Yeah. I love the fact that we're Irish and everything like that.
Yeah,
like if you don't do it every day, don't do it.
It's like I heard this great speech by Morgan Freeman about Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "You're gonna." He's like, your man was like, "Why are you against Black History Month?" He goes, "You're gonna consign my history to a month."
Yeah.
Where's White History Month? He goes, "This is nonsense."
Well, that's what I mean about that's sort of what I mean about everyone's right. If like women's rights for this week or gay rights for this week, everyone should get along every week, every day.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, and that's when I made that video about Leo Varadkar. It was definitely innuendoous without coming out and saying anything. but it was a complete piss take. I mean, it was a joke. I don't care if you're gay, straight, fucking suspect. As long as you're doing your job and you're not hurting anyone, that's all. That's all that matters. But so a couple of people.
If you are a suspect, you discuss
that's racist. But they don't mind me making jokes about myself or Mayo or Ireland or other things.
Being self-deprecating is different, though.
Well, 100%.
So the only thing I'd look at it there is that, like, the whole thing is bullshit. It's like
as Ricky Gervais says, you can't joke about this. You can't joke about that. He said bullshit. You can joke about anything you want
as long as you're able to break it down and go, this is why it's very funny. You have to be able to, like, if there's backlash, and he's brilliant at it because he can go, I really thought about this joke. He breaks it down to a minute detail of why it's funny. And he can deconstruct the joke and show why it's funny. Even like saying something racist for a lazy gag is always wrong.
No. And it's also about context as well, or the way you say things.
Or like at the end of the day, it's about punching up, not punching down.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
So, like Leo Varadkar, you making that joke is about Leo Varadkar, who was the leader of the country, who's now in a power shared situation. You're punching up,
of course,
and you're taking the piss out of the fact that he's taking that very personally.
When he shouldn't. At the end of the day, he's leading a country or trying to lead a country with, Micheál Martin, or whoever. And he's taken that sort of thing. Like, and my idea was, and it's the truth. No matter who you are in power, whether you're doing a great job or not, there's always going to be people that are going to call you bollocks.
Yeah, like but lots of people love getting offended, man.
No, that's what I mean. People love to be offended. They're offended because they want to be offended.
Yeah.
They want something to latch on to.
It's not just like the last day Zelensky was out. Did you see this where he called out Ireland for being
another thing? I nearly made a video about that, but I didn't get time to go around it.
But like realistically, Ireland is a neutral country, and I don't think
exactly.
He can have an opinion. He's probably right. Ireland was late to the party and didn't give enough support militarily or whatever.
But humanitarian, we've taken more in than Britain.
Yeah, but like humanitarily, we are going to go above and beyond. But he doesn't want that.
No.
He wants arms.
Which rings alarm bells in my head.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, he's fighting Russia.
But even still, he should have
the second biggest army in the world.
But another thing is, he has to realize that Ireland is a neutral country for starters. They have fuck all when it comes to military.
Yeah.
As good as it is, and I know the Ranger boys are probably the best in the world, and
but we don't put money into our military.
Yeah, we don't put it into our own military. So how are we expected to put it into the Ukrainian? And we'll help out in other ways.
Yeah, the fact that now, at the end of the day, he just said some stuff. He just rhymed off some stuff at the top of his head, probably. But
in saying that, he didn't need to name any countries. He named a rake of countries.
Yeah, he named a rake of countries, but people lost their fucking shit.
Yeah,
people lost the absolute canopy about this.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why? Who cares?
Speaking of sending out military out to Ukraine, did you
the poison
Dundalk? What the fuck is that about?
Legends.
You don't know whether to think they're lunatics or actually admire what they've done.
Man, it's like at the end of the day, people are giving their good, hard-earned cash to these lads, and they're taking the fucking piss. And I gotta love it. Like, I know you shouldn't, but like they're hiding out in the fucking woods in Dundalk.
Yeah.
And they've raised $2,000.
For anyone that doesn't know the story, $2,000. I thought it was 2,000.
No, I think it's like 2,000.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
But
they called them out on a couple of radio stations as well, and apparently they actually had to get a flight out to Poland. The plot thickens. For anyone that doesn't know this story, is the comments back connected? I think so.
Someone jump into the comments. So
yeah, it says here that chat's disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect, successfully connected. So I presume that it is connected. But anyway, these boys raised money in Dundalk or around that area, or Dundalk or Drogheda, to go out and fight
on the
Ukraine for Ukraine,
Russia,
to fight Russia. Okay, so obviously, and I think they have a history of trying to make a name for themselves or trying to do daft old shite. But they raised money, and then they went up the woods and hung out there for days, camping up in the woods around Carlingford or Dundalk or whatever.
Posted videos
of them rolling around fields and in among trees and making noise and like as if they were in battle or something, and then putting it up on TikTok and shit like that, as if you would if the Russian army was on your heels.
Yeah.
You know, wait. I just have to make a TikTok.
Some Russian lad comes up with a gun to your head, and you're like, "Hold on, I'm just putting up a video about a video for Adka, right? Just give me a second, lads, all right?" It's like you in your car. It's like, "Yo, lads, you're gonna love this. It's very funny."
So, but you know, and they're shouting back at each other in these videos. I've seen only a couple of them. They're shouting back, "You all right? You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right." I mean, fuck me. You couldn't make it up. You really couldn't make it up. But apparently they actually had to go out to Poland because everyone was calling them out because they were found. Someone actually found
someone's imagine that
walking away.
It's just like go for a walk with the dog.
Yeah, someone was walking the dog. Exactly.
Hey, Tom, come over here. I thought you were in fucking Ukraine, lads.
Yeah, it is mental.
The whole thing is insane.
Yeah, but
you gotta.
I thought it was a piss take in the beginning. I thought someone had actually made this up, but then it was on the Dundalk radio or whatever radio station is up there and everything. It's just crazy.
So they had to go to Poland.
I think they actually had to go to Poland. I must update it, but I heard someone say that they actually had to go to Poland to actually and take pictures out there to prove that they've gone out. Anyway,
I love that.
Yeah, you gotta love that. Right.
We finish up?
We'll finish up?
Yeah.
Listen, guys, thank you very much for commenting. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for listening. The super chats.
Thank you very much, Patrick, for the super chat. And we will enjoy that pint with you when we're at a show, that's for sure. Whether it be Galway or Dublin.
Oh, and big thanks to our sponsor.
Big thanks to our sponsor.
The absolute scumbags at $3 stout. $3 stout for all your problems.
Yes.
These will only cause you problems.
Brewed to soothe a turbulent mind.
I don't know. I think it's the cause of.
Well, maybe
cause and effect of all problems.
Maybe.
All your it's all
in a shop near you.
All Stevens bottles. All Stevens problems in a bottle. Yeah, you gotta love that. Guys, thanks a lot. I don't know if the chat came back on there, but
cheers, guys.
I'll leave it to you.
Listen, and if you're watching this after the fact, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Drink the beer.
Yeah. Good luck.